Hello, hello. I'm Rachel. I'm so happy you joined me today because this is what I love to do. I've been working in the Middle East for such a long time, and I am finding that people could be doing so much better with just tiny little adjustments here and there when it comes to networking, specifically networking in the Middle East regarding business. And I'm all about B2B because that's where I like to play. And I'm going to take you on a journey today for an up and coming event that I've been going to for the last decade, if not more, the GISEC cybersecurity event. This is a big one. And there's a couple events that happen and hit the market here in Dubai. And this is one of them that makes a huge impact because you're going to see that there are a lot of people that come, and there's people from all over the world that want to know what's going on, and they come here to find out what's the latest and greatest. So I'm going to take you through a little information that's hopefully going to give you a little more insight to just a hint of what you could do when you're at the trade show so you can maximize your time being here. Imagine you've traveled from around the world, you want to get there, I want to take you there, and I want to make sure it's profitable for you to actually spend your time here. So I'm Rachel. If you don't know who I am, a little more information about me. I just won another award recently, but a couple that I've been recognized from last year were everything from the most innovative lead generation business to a 200 women power leaders. And that is really special to me because obviously I love what I do and I love to make an impact for businesses. I've been in the region for 17 years and I'm originally from New York City, where I served in a restaurant in my very first sales experience ever at the age of 16. So I'm all about elevating sales through human connections, and the trade shows, events, these live events are the way to do it in the most effective, cost-effective way. There's no doubt you could spend a lot of money in marketing. This is usually the biggest expense of any business and any, investment from investors to grow. But there are some things that really work and some things don't have that conversion to meet and close deals in the B2B space. So I want to take you through that today. And I hope you find this really valuable. But before we start, I just want to give you a little overview. I've been working in the region for quite some time, and I work with many different industries. I specialize in IT, I specialize in training, fintech, FMCG, you name it. I've worked in franchising, media, from Gulf News Radio, and I've sold sponsorship, and I've been doing sales for so long. So I now help businesses, and I look at their businesses and say, hey, what can you be doing better? Because if you are spending marketing funds, you need to convert. And a lot of times these two departments don't really connect, and they're siloed inside organizations. So this happens a lot of time. But I actually started my journey working in sales professionally for business to business in California when I was working for industrial printing, and I had no marketing department, and I had to go find marketing myself. And so I had to go out in the field and I had to go and find, where am I going to find the most amount of people that I need to actually talk to and acquire for business. And you know what? The trade shows are where that is. So that's why we're going to take you through this presentation about what I'm doing today. We're going to go through everything that you need to know about this upcoming event next week. There's an event app. I want to show you why to use it and how to use it strategically. The pre-event preparation that you should be doing. And if you haven't, it's not too late to start, but now is the time. After you watch this, you gotta get ready to start. And how about after the event? You come, you go, you communicate, you meet, and then what happens? There are a lot of problem areas where things just go flat, and I want to show you what to do so that doesn't happen. And then clearly follow-up is going to be a big focus. So I hope you enjoy the ride, because this is where we start to go right into the, no doubt, trade shows are a grind. And it's not an easy one either, because clearly there's a lot of people on the floor. It is time consuming. And the reality is that there's so many pain points that people may or may not even be aware of. So I want to take you through those pain points, and so that you understand what is actually, happening, so it doesn't happen to you. This is huge. Now, these are just top 10 that I got. And I've been doing it because I was spending marketing funds, actually being an exhibitor. And I found I send people around the world and basically to be an exhibitor on stand. And what would happen? I expect to get some leads, some opportunities, some meetings. And what did I get? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not getting. And I'm going to let somebody else in on the room while I continue to present and welcome them in, because I always love when people join. It's a good time to invite them to come along and find out who they are and what problems they actually experience out in the field. So thanks for joining, Bart. It's nice to see you here. I'm welcoming you to jump into the chat anytime and start chatting so we can learn a little bit more about what you need and what your experience been, so we can make sure it's better when you get to the show. So there is no doubt, top 10 points. The booth design, yes, if you're a sponsor or an exhibitor, could be a problem, right? What about untrained booth staff? Do people know everything about your product that's on the stand? Do they have objectives of exactly what they're supposed to do while they're there? What their expectation is from the business, so they know how to meet those expectations? What about inadequate pre-show meetings? Has anyone set any meetings before the show? Do you know exactly who you're going to meet and what's going to happen? Big problem area. What about insufficient follow-up? That's the biggest problem. And then you got budget restraints. No doubt, budget restraints can actually cause problems, because how are you going to do what you need to do if there's no money to do it? Time management is huge, especially in an event like GISEC. GISEC is massive. If you don't schedule your time and strategize it, it's going to be a big problem for you. And you're going to run out of time, especially that most of the decision makers that you may need to meet are there for the first couple of days. They're on panels and they are there for a limited time. So if you are in the wrong hall at the wrong time, how are you going to meet the big boys that you need to meet? Or depending on who you meet, your strategy may change. Clearly, how are you going to measure success if that investment was worth your time? There is a cost to travel, a cost for the booth, a cost for the sponsorship, a cost for the marketing. And when you add everything up and you look at how many leads and potential meetings you have that will convert to deals, whether they're a customer meeting or a business strategic collaboration, how much is going to convert to your bottom line? And if you aren't measuring this, then might as well be throwing your marketing budget in the trash. So having this success and measuring it is huge and crucial for you to understand. Now, the lead qualification. What are people saying to understand, are these leads or not? And I can't tell you how many times I pass a stand that has a box that says, drop your business card. What? I just can't tell you. Why would anybody drop their business card unless they were going to, number one, get something? And why would you want to collect business cards of someone that you haven't talked to, right? So there's a lot of questions that go into my mind, because it's not the best effective way to do this. And I'm hearing from clients that may get 20% of the leads are really customers that may have a business opportunity. But the reality is, if you're going to this event, you should be able to qualify. Do they have a need? What are their needs? Do they have a timeline? And ideally, get through somewhat of a marketing qualification stage and maybe even a sales qualification stage, depending on how long of a conversation you're able to have with somebody. But from a bare minimum, you should find out what their needs are, and you should lock in a follow-up meeting, because sales is all about the next step. And if you're not moving it to the next step, then you're missing this out. And if you're not qualifying it to understand if you should even follow up with them after the event, then you're missing out. So keep that in mind. Clearly, technology failures could be a big one. You're going to be at a big event. If you're relying on the Wi-Fi at the event, then let me tell you, you should really think of a plan B, because so many people are pulling the Wi-Fi, you're going to have delays. I can't tell you so many times I've heard, oh, I can't get access. My Wi-Fi, oh, my phone has died because I've been using it all day. So I don't even have a backup charger. These little technical problems could be really problematic. And then one of the biggest ones in Dubai, because the people from around the world, and I'm American, been here for 17 years, doing trade shows for a long time and doing a lot of different trade shows. I absolutely love it. But here's the deal. There are people from all over the world at these trade shows. So if you are not prepared for the cultural differences of everyone and how to adjust accordingly based on these communication, then you may have a lot of challenges where you use that opportunity to connect and you lose it because you were not properly prepared and have the tools on your tool belt to be able to engage differently depending on who you're talking to. And that's really about being agile and so forth. And so do you have those skills? So once you understand which ones are you suffering from, then we can go to the next step. But right now, I'm here to give you just a very high level way of how we can help make your day that much greater. Have you navigated the app? Because if you are there, you definitely will be listed as a registered participant on the app. There's no doubt. You can show, you can adjust so your profile actually looks better. And clearly you can see everything you need to know to strategize. When we go to war anywhere in the world, there is someone thinking of the strategy. They want to see the lay of the land. They want to see where they need to go, the great opportunities to get in. And clearly that's the same idea here on the map. Why not look at how big it is, where the people that you want to meet are going to be located, whether it's on a panel discussion, whether it's in a hall, wherever it is in the event, you're going to have that visibility before you get there. And so I highly recommend that you're going to want to navigate it effectively. Not only that, people may find you and look for you. And these apps are made so people can connect. The connection ratio really varies per event, but you may have gotten an email from the event organizer trying to remind you of how important it is to use the app, because they're really trying to make sure that this is something of value that you use while you're at their event. And so having the app is important for you to be seen, for you to be found, and clearly for you to even promote your business so that you can actually look professional. So take the opportunity. Minimum, you should show your business, what you do, how you help people, and be accessible. So if somebody wants to reach you, they can. Additionally, you can use it for the outbound reach and see who else you want to meet and try to start that relationship on the app. I firmly believe that the app is not the only way to do this. You need to take the information from the app and you need to be able to utilize that on the next level. So here, the app is going to be available so that you can download it and then scan badges at the event and then save people that you met on site, which will be fantastic and very valuable. But it provides so much more. Imagine you go into the app, you see who's on the panels. You decide, I'm going to go to that panel that time. You can even filter from different areas, from the regions that you're focusing on. If you're trying to get certain businesses, you could even focus on the types of companies. You could focus on searching the exhibition list, like exclusively for everyone that's going to be there. And then from there, find out what kind of business they are, what they do, what area of focus. You have a lot of information to start that relationship very in a warmer way. You even can see the people. Well, isn't that the jackpot? Because if you can find the people at those businesses, then guess what you can do? You can take that information, you could try to connect with them on LinkedIn and build a relationship with them so that you can keep that relationship going in whatever way is going to work. Here's an opportunity where you can meet in the person. That person will get the notification. You can chat with them. Whether or not they accept it is going to be a question mark because people are going to be busy. So the conversion rate on these apps is, like I said, going to be different per event. As much as I'd like to say, use the app, it's going to give you all those sales meetings you were dreaming of, I personally don't think that's really the way to go, but I do think you could use it strategically to outline your map, where you're going to go, when you're going to go, and who you're looking to meet, especially if everybody's on the app. And then you can take that information and you can optimize that on your LinkedIn profile. So now they see you as a professional for trust and credibility. And that's super, super valuable. The other thing is you can bookmark things so it can be easier for you to utilize and reference. And then clearly, if you get to have meetings on the app, you can reference that as well. And there's that matchmaking aspect of it. The event organizers want you to come and meet the people you want to meet. This is a big focus for them. That's why they bring this event together. But there's a relationship between you and other people that is crucial that they cannot duplicate. They cannot get in the middle of and basically decide that your connection and communication skills are going to work. But this is where it's left if you use the app and see what happens. Now, this event's very close. You should have already done some research. You should have already done some outreach. You should have already connected on LinkedIn. You should have already told people you're coming to the event in your network. You should have already tried to set up meetings before you got there. And you should have already created a CRM strategy if you have your CRM. Now, do you schedule pre-scheduled meetings before the show, or do you wait to see who shows up? This is a crucial question for you. Which one works best for you? If it was for me, I'd be making those meetings before I get off the plane. I would be getting those meetings and connections on LinkedIn before I even get to the show. I'd be trying to warm up those relationships because people are just preparing and they will have fresh access. And on average, people need to be touched 14 times from your brand for them to even remember who you are. So keep in mind, the more connections you make, the better it's going to be, especially if once you get to the event, you haven't heard back from them, you can go right into, hi, my name's Rachel. We're connected on LinkedIn. What a warm opportunity. They could always reference it. They've connected back. That's a huge advantage. Hey, I've been watching your LinkedIn, and I could reference information from what they're doing on their LinkedIn. They could be posting. You could see their expertise. You could see where they came from, where they went to school. You could learn a number of things that you could bring into the conversation that all of a sudden makes that ice cold connection really nice and warm. So think about it. I want you to engage like a pro. That's what I've been doing for years. This is what I help people do. So you and your team, it's so important. Do they have their elevator pitch? People are going quickly to meet all these people. As much as the region is a very relationship focused, engagement, especially B2B. You will need to make sure that any new relationships you're looking to build, you can do it effectively and clearly. So in just the first few seconds, and by the way, it takes 7 seconds for people to judge you and decide, do they want to work with you? Because people only work with people they like. That's how it works. So can you create trust and credibility in the first few seconds of meeting someone new? That's something that we work through, but I highly recommend that you practice that before you get off that plane in Dubai. What about qualifying questions? Have you gone through the top 3 questions you're going to ask every single person to see whether or not they are even a potential for business or a strategic partnership? You need to be able to differentiate them. Maybe you even decide, oh, this is a long-term opportunity because 80% of leads are not ready to convert. They may have another supplier. They may, be not ready to look or purchase. You need to qualify them so that you can understand where you follow up and what conversations you have with them. And you need to be able to personalize it so people feel heard and valued, because this is the most important part of humanity. And that's going to empower that relationship to go so much further. Now, do you know who your targets are that you're looking to find? Or are you just going to go to the stand and just wait for that ideal customer to just walk over into your stand? And I love this. Like, it's great to have a stand. It's great for visibility. But if you think your ideal customer is just going to walk in and walk right up and be like, hi, I've been looking to meet you forever, then let me tell you something. If your competition's on the show floor, it is very, very risky to think that way. So there's no doubt there's other strategies to go out, meet people, talk to people, and really engage as much as you can. And you know what? That takes a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Usually by day 3, day 4, people are dead. They're sitting there. They just need a seat. And there's not a lot of seats to sit down. So let me tell you, it's going to be packed with people, and you got to know where to go, what to say, and how to get there and do it effectively. So I've created the BizzAngels because I've seen so many clients require extra support. They just need a break. They're trying to juggle. They need to work on their own business, and they need to close that pipeline that they've already created. And they're at a trade show that's loud. How are they going to get business done? So a lot of times people will say, I need somebody else just for this event, just to help my business, and just to go and look for the people I need to meet, find them, qualify, bring them back, and introduce them to me, because that's exactly where the value is. So that's where the BizzAngels come from. They are the outsourced business development support. It's about sophistication meets powerful connections. So they represent your brand exclusively. They look great. And you know what? On average, they're doing 5 marketing qualified leads an hour on average, but they are talking to as many people as they can at the show to make sure that they can find the customer that you are looking for and be an extra set of arms so that you don't have to hit the whole show all alone. Really, really powerful. I always say, fail to plan plan to fail. I believe it was George Washington who said it. And that is exactly what you should be looking at right now, is what does that plan look like? And that's what being confident and strategic is about, right? Not only should you have the confidence, you know what you're going to say to people in the region, do you know what questions they're going to come back with, how you're going to overcome them? Have you already planned that out, and are you confident about that rebuttal and that communication? That's really important. So plan your day. I can't stress enough. Majority of people communicate through their body, not what they say. So if you're looking for someone to commit to something and you're not aware of their body and how they're being perceived with you, it may be a little bit of a problem, right? There's no doubt that it could be a big problem if you're not really aware of it. And that's exactly what I want to help you with, is become aware of it. This is important. Read the body language. Do you know what to look for? And if you don't have time, you may just need to go check Google or go check YouTube. I'm sure there's tons of people that can help you with a little insight to get the parties going. Be efficient. And like I can't stress enough, you gotta have some kind of targets so that you know if you reach them and whether or not this was a really, really, a good use of marketing funds, good use of business, money, right? I mean, this is just costing the business money to have you at this event. So was it good or was it not? And you're going to find that out based on the relationships that you build, the conversations that you have, and what kind of conversions you get to your business pipeline. So that's really a great way to look at it. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I got the BizzAngels going to events, and here's just one where a company hired us to go on behalf of them without any salesperson. So there was no networking required, but they needed their strategic partners that could they could onboard for their ecosystem to grow, similar to like a channel system. So, when I was working at Dell Software, I was basically helping a ton of partners with MDF, and these guys needed to drive leads. However, they had a limited team, just like Hartman Tresor, they had a limited team. So here the BizzAngels can go on behalf of your business, find the people, and basically qualify them to have a meeting with your team. So in this case, 172 leads were secured. These were all potentials based on what they wanted to achieve. And she locked in 41 secured meetings for them to take the conversation further and get to know each other better. Amazing conversion. And they were very, very happy with this because they couldn't go to Saudi. They had too much work in the market they were focusing on already. This is a new market for them, and they just need someone else to do the groundwork. Find out what's going on, find out the right people, find out whether or not this is make some introductions so that we can have some meetings to talk further about business and see what the opportunities are for our business. This is a great way to get into any market when you don't have enough resources. So efficient follow-up is by far the most, if not the very, very most important and biggest pain that I see businesses suffer from. 80% of the leads that are gotten at trade shows are never followed up. Wow, blow my mind, really. Unbelievable. This is just shocking because businesses have spent tons of money to get there, might as well just throw out the marketing fund, and then they don't get followed up on. It pains me. This is really difficult for me. This pains me a lot because I don't understand how can somebody just think that this is okay? It's really, really not, it's not okay, and that's the reality. Additionally, I want to discuss that this follow-up strategy. I mean, rule number one to sales, you always, always have to be on time. There's no doubt this has to be on time. Not only that, but how can you not follow up after you met somebody? So I have some strategies I tell my clients. It basically says you got to connect after the show every day of everyone that you connected, qualify, put them into categories. Boom, get it done. automate it. If you have a CRM, all these tools now are automating this. You can actually create all the content, automate it on your CRMs. You just throw it in and you have somebody support you if you have a marketing team. If you don't, it becomes more of a headache. However, as long as you're not on Excel, I still think if you are on Excel, the minimum that you can do is send an email and connect on LinkedIn from a minimum. And clearly, you got to be able to keep that engagement going, because in sales, it's all about the next step, all about the next step. And this is really, 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 really important. So every step as I meet them, we know what we're going to do. What's the next step? It's all about the next step. So really, really important here. There was another client that we helped with a customized, curated training. And this was really interesting because they had a team of people. They had a whole bunch of businesses, the New Zealand Trade Commission. They're like, come on in for this trade show. We want to make sure our business owners have the right support. And that's exactly what we gave them. A curated training of what to write, the strategy to engage, how to connect, set your meetings, what to do at the event, the live engagements of how to work at the event, and practicing their elevator pitch, their qualifying questions, and how you actually bring the customer to a meeting so that you can follow up. The follow-up strategy and what happened after this event. This was huge. So they had a difficulty navigating just the app, how to maximize their time with the strategy. We were able to help them do that, right? They had weak lead qualification or sales conversion. That's an area where we wanted to increase, and that's exactly what we did. So the results were here. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Increased qualified leads, higher meeting conversion, and deals in the pipeline, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to create deals in the pipeline. So each person on the ground should be supporting this effectiveness. Now, imagine your future potential. You can turn every transaction into an opportunity if you just follow strategy, and I make sales simple. Imagine mastering the science of persuasion so that you understand people. So not just throwing out a proposal and saying, great, we're going to send you a quote, but really understanding more about the customer to understand if they even should go in your pipeline. How about winning back your time? Just winning back your time that you're spent talking to the wrong people. That's a lot of time. Time is money. So don't you want to take some of that back if you're just using it in a useless way? What about closing with confidence so that you can say, I got a meeting, this is when it is, and we are going to lock down that KPI of results, because that's going to bring what I need to the table for our next trade show, and it's going to make that investment worthwhile. So power up your presence. Why not? If you got a team of people coming to GISEC and you need a little help, if you haven't thought about all this strategy, I'm like the strategy queen. I'm going to help you actually and your team build this strategy so we can plug and play. Just plug it in, let them follow, and unlock the real results with the trade show that work. It works, right? We customize it to your business, but this one is the one that works. It's all about the pre-show strategy, outreach and communication, on-site lead communication skills, post-event follow-up, what to say, how to write it, when to send it, how to communicate, right? On from phone, from email, even from text message. That strategy should be clear. And who is this for? Could be companies, entrepreneurs that come here with little support, sales and business development teams that have a few people that are there on the ground, but maybe not enough to really leave the stand. And then teams that need a clear structure of how to engage, how to follow up, and how to really convert these contacts. So I want to help you power up. It is working out, and I'm offering it to you. If you've joined the call, if you've listened to this call, then I highly encourage you to reach out. Let me know. Use the word GISEC, and I will know. I'm giving you 30% discount. I will train your team, minimum 5 people for this price. So basically, I'm giving you a 30% discount. 5 people to get this training. It's 1,900 dirhams per person. It's costing you 9,800 dirhams. There's no doubt we're going to work together. We're going to make sure the success of this event is what you are looking to achieve. I will be on the field on WhatsApp with live engagement to your team so that if they have any questions, problems, they need support, that I will be there to guide them and help them maximize this event. We should have some targets of how many people you want to meet based on how many people are on your team. And so this is something that I'd like to invite you to take advantage of by joining today. We have a limited time available, but listen, if you are a smaller team and you just need some extra hands, because how are you going to juggle all this at the same time? Let me tell you, BizzAngels are there to help you because they enhance your exhibition space. They help you by going outside of your exhibition space and go and talk to people on the trade show floor, on the panel discussion, and really promote your brand. They do it exclusively, they do it professionally, and I'm offering you this special rate, just a limited time. This is good for the next 24 hours as I share this recording. We had so many people say they're interested in coming. Obviously, people get busy, so I'm recording this and sharing this, and I'd love to help you if you're coming to one of these events. Now, after the event, you may not need us on the ground, no problem. After the event, what are you going to do? Are you going to be one of those 80% that doesn't do anything? Up to you. But if you need some support, that's what we're doing. We're calling on the phone, which by the way, gets a 44 to 65% pickup rate. People need humans to call them. This is really powerful. We're using email, we're using WhatsApp, and we're just reminding people that, hey, we met you. We need that time and date in your calendar to book that meeting, that next meeting, and helping that sales move to the next level. That's what we're doing, and that's what I want to help you with. So if you're interested in any of those services, I'd love to help you more. I leave this time open for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, I invite you, send your questions, share. I'm here to connect with you and help you through this navigation of building your business in the Emirates, finding the opportunities that matter to your bottom line, and really trying to drive your business forward. I'm focusing on the B2B play. So if you need to connect with other businesses in the UAE, in the Gulf, we are here to do that effectively for you and can't wait to meet you. Here's all my contact information. Hashtag Ask Rachel to find me, reach out, let me know you heard this. I'm happy to extend that great promotion to you and your team and really see this huge success that we can do together as partners at these trade shows to really drive results. Looking forward to hearing from you. Have a successful day, and I hope you so much success at GISEC 2025.